Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back here. A2D, Agree to Disagree, Boxing Podcast. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while. We've all been dealing with this coronavirus thing. It's made boxing basically non-existent up until recently. Today is June 8th. And if you're tuning in with me right now, I appreciate it. But I would also appreciate if you hit that like button, subscribe, and subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Right now we're about, as it sits today, June 8th, 2020, we're about 58 subscribers. We need to get to 100. Help us get to 100 so that I can stream live on YouTube. And at 100 subscribers, I can get the URL Straight Outta Content, youtube.com, Straight Outta Content. I will continue to push Agree to Disagree podcast through Straight Outta Content. And as Straight Outta Content gets bigger, I will branch off and create Agree to Disagree boxing podcast a little bit separate once I have a following. Right now, we're just pouring so much content into Straight Outta Content. YouTube page and Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at Straight Out of Content. You can follow us on YouTube at Straight Outta Content, OUTTA. So again, thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, today I'm just going to give everybody just an update. I don't have my partner Omar with me, where we sit across from each other and we agree to disagree on boxing. Right now, all I can do is just give people an update on news and what's going on. I haven't posted anything in a long time. Once boxing kind of fell off and all major sports kind of fell off due to the virus, I fell off as well, and I shouldn't have done that. So now that I have a lot more things in order here at the house, we're scaling up. We're able to make our own merch now. We bought everything to make our own merch in-house. We don't have to pay anybody else to make our merch. You name it, we can make it. From hoodies to hats to clothes to mugs, we can make it. You name it, we can make it. So we invested a lot of money into that, and which now translates into the podcast. And the only thing that I need to do for the boxing podcast, A2D, Agree to Disagree, remember to hit that like button or hit that dislike button. It doesn't matter. Just leave comment. Just let me know what you need more of. As you see, I have a new mic and a new setup here. When Omar and I can get time, we will shoot the podcast together. But regardless of whether or not I have Omar or not, who is like a brother to me, we just want to make sure that everybody's being safe. And with that being said, I'm not going to stop trying to update everybody with content. And the first thing that I want to start off with is my food. This ain't mukbang or nothing like that, but I'm starving. I worked during the day. Been out running around all day. But the first thing I want to start with is everybody just be safe. Right now, we're in a serious time. An extremely serious time in this country. There's so much going on. I'm not going to get into that here on this podcast. But I just want everybody to be safe. My job when I film this podcast, our job when Omar and I film this podcast is to show, trust me, we have our beliefs very strong. Very strong to both of us believe, but our job is to stay on subject. And the subject of this podcast is boxing and a little bit of MMA. We don't get too much into MMA because that's not our expertise. We don't have any business talking all this crazy MMA stuff in the UFC when that's not our expertise. We stay in our lane. We created a lane and we're staying in it. So things that I don't like is like the story that I saw today. As I look here in my notes, the story that I see today, and everybody's picking this story up, is about Floyd Mayweather tweeting to Conor McGregor after he retires. First off, if Conor McGregor wants to retire, he can retire. I mean, we all know Floyd is training. We all see Floyd training. Again, my condolences to his family. He had 2 major deaths. Roger Mayweather, the Black Mamba, 2-time champion. He's fought everybody, Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez, you name it. He didn't fight Oscar, but my point is that, and then his child's, the mother of his children, of his 3 children, she passed as well. So we seen him training. We also, before all of this coronavirus stuff came out, we also heard that him and Conor would be fighting. Some people say Conor is just saying this just to kind of stir up the pot. But what didn't happen, or what I didn't see proof of happening, right? Let's move this. What I didn't see proof of happening, let's drop this down a little bit, okay. What I didn't see proof of happening was Floyd Mayweather's tweet. If you go to Floyd Mayweather's Twitter right now, which I have pulled up on my phone, the last thing he tweeted was on May 22nd. Again, maybe I don't have updated Twitter. I don't have Twitter. But I know that he didn't post it on his Instagram. He didn't post it on his Instagram, and he didn't post it on his Twitter. He only has 7.9 million followers on his Twitter. He has, when we go to Floyd Mayweather's Instagram, he has 23.5 million people on his Instagram. Trust me, if he told Conor McGregor that he's gonna punish him or something like that, I seen all these boxing news channels picking it up. I mean, I can't make this up. This is his Twitter. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if it's gonna come into. He said nothing about it. He said nothing in regards to Conor McGregor. And this is the type of, and I'm not even going to say the term because I know everybody wants me to say it, but this is the type of stuff that we don't do here. So every day I'm going to try to carve out 30 minutes a day here on A2D, Agree to Disagree podcast, and just to give you guys the latest boxing news. Just to give you guys the latest up-to-date boxing news so that you stay up to date with the real news. As far as I know, unless I see it on his Instagram, unless I see it on his Twitter feed, which I haven't seen it, and the picture that's posted out there looks photoshopped, I haven't seen it. And that would be really, and you also don't see a response from Conor McGregor on his Instagram. It just doesn't add up. But everybody's taking that. You won't see that here. Whenever the website is finished and we incorporate Agree to Disagree podcast into Straight Outta Content website, or whenever we branch off A2D, right now there's a lot of paperwork that we have to do, but to get it up and going, to get on all platforms, to get the podcast on all platforms, there's a lot of paperwork behind the scenes with a podcast. It's not as easy as just a YouTube channel. But once we get all that in place, A2D will be its own entity. It will be set. It will be under the umbrella of Straight Outta Content, because Straight Outta Content brings all channels. It brings the Flash Custom Designs, which is our new merchandise, and media company. These are all things that we've been doing while the coronavirus. We have not been standing still. We have continued to move forward. But with that said, we're not going to post anything. There's a lot. I'm not going to name any names, but there's some YouTubers out there who do a lot of clickbait. You won't get that here. Just stay tuned every day so that I can update you with the latest news in boxing and MMA. So the first thing out there is I haven't seen on Floyd's official pages, Twitter or Instagram, of him talking about telling Conor that he's going to crush him or whatever the heck he said. Nor do I see a response from Conor. Now, Conor's retirement, that was real. Floyd's response, I haven't seen it. Maybe he commented below. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But again, I could be wrong. Who knows? If I'm wrong, leave it in the comments down below. Tell me, hey, Carl, you're crazy. You're crazy. It's right here. He really did say it. It's just weird to me that he would say that only in a response, only in the reply. It's just weird that he would reply. I don't think it's him. But it's just very weird that he would reply in the bottom of somebody. I don't know him of doing that. I know him of responding on his own platforms, never replying on somebody else's timeline. But again, we know that he doesn't necessarily run his Twitter or his Instagram. Somebody else does, and they kind of get the answer back from him. So that's it in regards to Floyd. But also in regards to Floyd, who thinks he's coming back? And leave in the comments below whether or not you think this is real or this is just them trying to stir up some information, since we've definitely seen Floyd training. And there's a new video, or not video, but there was video of the 168 pounder, I don't know his name, but the 168 pounder that was sparring with Floyd. Shout out to Panda Express. A little bit of ASMR in here. But we're not sponsored by Panda Express yet. Yeah, our sponsors are coming too. Speaking about that, let's get into our sponsors. Killing every day. You want to know anything about weightlifting, losing weight, gaining muscle, getting jacked? Follow Killing Every Day on Instagram. My man George, hook you up with anything you need. He's also growing his channel. He's also growing his brand. Also brand new to the YouTube world and to social media. Cutting Up with Dan, 20-year barber here in Houston. Cuts me, I'm from New York. Came down here, he's been my only barber in Houston for over 10 years. You can follow him at Cutting Up with Dan on Instagram. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll send you a link below. Also, Colin's Kitchen, my man Colin, man, he another Houstonian. This kid, his meals are crazy. He's gonna change the cooking world. He put a little flavor in it, you know what I mean? He got that sauce, you know what I mean? He got that young swag. You know what I mean? Like his flavor is crazy. Like his meals are crazy. I didn't know he could cook like that. So follow him at Colin's Kitchen. You can follow him on Instagram as well. He's also on YouTube. You can YouTube just Colin's Kitchen, Colin with a K. Colin's Kitchen. We're also, by the way, we're making merch for everybody here. Everybody that I name, all the sponsors who help. They help this show behind the scenes. They help this show and we help their show. That's the reason why I'm shouting them out. And last but not least, up there in Bryan, College Station, if you're in the Bryan, College Station, Texas area, and you need your lawn cut, because it's summer here in Texas, it's June, it's 98 degrees outside, go call my man Mike at Humble Lawn Service, okay? I'll put the link in the description with his information so you guys can call him if you guys need your lawn. He's been doing, he's having his own lawn care business for God knows how long. So yeah, you need your lawn cut right, call Mike. You need your hair cut right, call Dan. Gotcha. You need your body cut right, call George over at Killing Every Day. All right, guys, that's our sponsors right now. So back to the subject at hand. So yeah, leave in the comments below who do you think Floyd will fight if he comes back? And do you think Conor or Floyd will ever fight again? Leave those in the comments below. We're going to move on to the next subject. Next subject is Mike Tyson. I've been arguing. It's good to see Mike Tyson taking a knee. That was today, 6/8, Mike Tyson posted. Oh, let me take another bite. Mike Tyson posted. I'm gonna hit him. Got that can of dry ginger ale. We ain't sponsored, but you don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that fresh ginger ale. Mike Tyson posting that knee. That was a good picture on your Instagram. But what they didn't show you is Mike Tyson almost didn't get up from the ground. Guys, I've been arguing with people every day to the point to where I just stopped. Because as soon as everybody saw Mike Tyson throw those 7-8 punches, everybody, oh, Carl, Mike's coming back. Guys, a lot of people already touched on this. I know it's an old subject, but I'm kind of touching on the subject as I move forward, as I kind of cover everything that's been happening. Mike Tyson is 53 years old. You guys, I know Mike Tyson's, I follow boxing from beginning of careers to the end. You guys see Mike Tyson from his young career. I see Mike Tyson today from his last professional fight, in which he got stopped by a tomato can. You can YouTube it. This was an active Mike Tyson. Active. He wasn't retired and then came back and got demolished. He was an active fighter and got whooped in his last fight. His last 2 fights were garbage. And this is from an active fighter. This man hasn't done anything boxing-wise. I don't care how hard he trains, how good he looks, throwing a couple combinations at some mitts. Mitts don't hit back. There's nothing that he can... Now, again, there's 2 subjects here. There's what he can do against other old, washed-up fighters. Evander Holyfield's one. Let's Go champ. I always forget his name. From Brooklyn. He's another one. Shannon Briggs, he's another one. Maybe Vladimir. Vladimir will probably put Michael to sleep. Vladimir Klitschko will probably put Mike Tyson to sleep. I don't want to see him do that. But when I start hearing people say like him and Tyson Fury, him and Deontay Wilder, I'm like, guys, if you think football players get CTE, this is this right here is a prime example of the difference between what happens with brain injuries with boxers and what happens with brain injuries with football players. They both sustain brain injuries, but when you see them older, right, you see 2 different types of brain injuries. They're both receiving concussions. They both start at a very young age, so their bodies adapt to the punishment. But in the end, their brains damage differently. With boxers, they get what's called punch drunk. And that's when your speech starts slurring and you're shaking like Freddie Roach or Muhammad Ali or the countless other punch drunk fighters. And your speech slurs and you stutter. And there's a lot of fighters that stutter now. I won't name any names. And you can't remember and you talk funny like James Toney or a Riddick Bowe. You know, these guys are punch drunk. You even hear it a little bit in Shane Mosley. These guys are punch drunk. That's the reason why guys like Andre Ward are retiring and guys like Tim Bradley are retiring super early, and they still can get it. It's the reason why guys like Floyd Mayweather Sr. talks the way he does. Punch drunk. And then you have CTE, which they never really combine boxing and CTE, which they should, but then you have CTE with football players. You don't see football. Last I checked, you don't see football players talking slurred. Outside of Edwin Valero, who most people don't even know who the hell that is, outside of Edwin Valero, with his killing, when he, killed himself, outside of that, or murder, or whatever the hell he did, I think it was some suicide, outside of Edwin Valero, fighters, when their brain damage happens, it doesn't happen the same way as football players. Football players' damage, they can still speak articulately. It's not a going joke that you get punch drunk in football. That's not it. you'll just say he has CTE. Or if he starts acting funny, you're going to say he has CTE. That's a result of CTE. Any of these football players that start acting up crazy, oh no, that's probably CTE. CTE is starting to set in. And then next thing you know, they kill somebody, or they harm somebody, or they beat somebody, or they kill themselves. For some reason, getting punched in the face gives you different brain damage than putting on a helmet and smashing into somebody at however many G-forces or whatever the collision is considered. It gives you different brain damage. It's very unique, and a study should be done on why football players are slurred in speech versus boxers. But then they don't ever associate CTE with boxers. They only associate CTE with football players. It's very unique. Hopefully this conversation sparks that subject. That's what we decide to do. That's what we want to do here. But with all that being said, you can't want to see a 53-year-old or a 57-year-old person get in the ring for an exhibition or for sparring or for anything after already committing their whole life to boxing. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it because I know what it does. If you honestly care, which 90% of the people watching this could give a damn less, they only want to see, blood, sweat, and tears for their enjoyment, and then they don't give a damn. They're not in the locker room. They're not in the locker room, trying to pee and can't, or they're not in the locker room pissing blood. 90% of people looking at this camera never been punched in the face with a glove. I don't want it. I'm not going to promote that here on this channel. I'm going to watch hoping everybody is safe. Hoping when whoever they decide to fight, because I heard he signed a $20 million contract, especially if he does bare knuckle. I don't even want to go there. But we know what it does. Why do we want to see Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield go down the route of a Muhammad Ali? Why? Let them stay retired. Even Floyd is pushing it. To me, I think Floyd should continue to stay retired. He's pushing it. Even the $9 million that he got over there in Japan fighting that little guy, you're pushing it. It's just not worth it. So that's my stance on that, on Mike Tyson coming back. I don't really care who he fights or anything like that. He's not who he ever was. He's not even who he was in his last fight. Evander Holyfield is not even who he was in his last fight. I don't care how many sit-ups, pull-ups, chain dips you do. You are not going to be as effective as you were when you were an active fighter. And these guys have at least a decade gap since the last time that they fought. That's insanity. That's insane. To then go in a ring and get punched in the head by another heavyweight for $20 million. God forbid he does that more than once, either one of them. So that's just my stance there. When it comes to these old guys, let them retire. Let them be great. There's no reason, even if the only way I might want to see it is if they have headgear on and 16 to 20 ounce gloves. But even outside of that, these guys are trained professionals. They can still crack. I don't want to see it. No different than when Roy Jones Jr. kept fighting. It was sad to see him keep getting knocked out or fighting guys in smokers. Smokers is like a low budget boxing match where, local people come out, almost like low budget wrestling. I don't want to see my heroes fight like that. I don't care how big it is, how spectacular, because probably DAZN is going to pick it up and make it really spectacular. That's not what I want to see. And I damn sure don't want to see a 300-pound Tyson Fury punch regular Mike Tyson in the face. Why? I don't know. I just don't get it. But that's my rant on Mike Tyson. I'm going to finish this up because, again, this is just a news update. Jarrell Miller, his fight, I think it was Adamic. He stopped Adamic. Jarrell Miller looked good. I mean, it was a fight to make him come back since the steroid scandal, since he blew his fight with Anthony Joshua. Outside of that, it's not really much to talk on in boxing. A few other fights, Ryan Garcia talking trash and stuff like that, but nobody's really fighting. So it's just a whole lot of trash talking. But the Jarrell Miller did fight. He is a name. He did stop him. I think that he's a contender. I think that he should fight. Personally, I think that him and Deontay Wilder should fight. I think that's a really good fight. I think Tyson Fury should fight Andy Ruiz. That's just me, just matchmaking. I think that they could fight in the same card. That'd be awesome as well. That'd be a really good card. But I don't see ESPN joining another card with Deontay Wilder. Maybe they'll fight a week apart. I see something like that. Wilder will have his card against Jarrell Miller, unless Jarrell Miller just fought on DAZN. So I doubt that happens. So we'll probably see Ruiz versus Wilder, unless he does go through with the Fury fight, like they say. I don't know. We don't know. We did get to see Wilder with his powerful poem. Again, powerful poem. Till this day. That's what I'm going to end this podcast on, in this news update on boxing 6/8/2020. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We got to get our subscribers up. I've had this channel for 6 months. It's June. It's June 8th. It's time to get our subscribers up. And we can only do that with you. We can only do that with the people. So we need you guys to like and comment and subscribe and share and push us to create the content that you want. That's what we're here at Straight Outta Content. We push the content that you want, and we also want you to send us your content. If you make videos, send us your content. We have an editing machine over there. An editing PC over there. We want to host content. We also going to be posting merch. We want to host merch as well, but we're going to be posting everybody's merch that I name, all our sponsors. But on top of that, we want to host your content. The website is coming up. Once the website drops, you guys will be able to send in your content and we will post it. What we won't do is be like some of those other people and post a negative comment. We won't do it here at Straight Outta Content. You want to see fighting, you want to see people doing dumb stuff, we won't post it. We may post a few social issues or something like that, but as far as fights and ignorant stuff, that's not what we're going to do here at Straight Outta Content. But we do want to help the little guy, like the barber, like Dan, or like Mike, the lawn service guy. If you're a local barber and you're in your city and you've been a barber for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, and you've got a local following and you just want to film some content and upload it, do that. And we can edit it. We can talk. We can go over it because your content is important. It's good that the little guy gets out there, because right now you try to put even this little podcast on YouTube. I'm drowned out by everybody else who has way more money. So we're here to help the little guy. So again, please like, comment, subscribe, comment, share. We appreciate you for tuning in to A2D, Agree to Disagree podcast. Thank you for the news. Thank you for tuning in and me to give you a news update. Stay tuned tomorrow because I'll be back tomorrow to give you another boxing news update every day. I'm going to try to go 7 days a week, 365, dropping a video every day. All right, guys, with that said, have a good day. Be good. Peace.